Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Before we get into this one, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's recently subscribed and watched the videos. I truly do appreciate it, and you guys do keep giving me hope to continue making these videos. Now this video is slightly different from the other home DIY projects that I've been doing. However, this is a DIY project in itself, so I thought I would share this with you. Now, the Mac that I do a lot of editing on is a 2013 iMac, and it, let's say, started to lag a little bit in the RAM area. A few years ago, I had the hard drive changed to a solid state drive, an SSD, and that made a world of difference to the way that the Mac performed. However, when using Final Cut Pro, I noticed that there was quite a lot of lag when rendering, and this was mainly as a result of the RAM. So the Mac from the shop came with a 8GB RAM. That was two 4GB RAM sticks, and this just wasn't cutting it anymore. So I worked out the maximum RAM that I could have in this Mac for the age was 16GB of RAM. So I then decided to purchase two 8GB RAM sticks. Now, the main reason I was a bit nervous about doing this was just purely for the way that the screen is, but I thought, given the age of it, if anything went wrong, I'll just buy a new one anyway. So I've speed ramped this video just so you can kind of get an idea, and then the great thing about this is I was able to give the Mac a bit of a clean as well on the inside, because it had harbored quite a lot of dust and just was generally in a pretty poor state. But overall is a relatively straightforward job. There's a couple of fiddly bits. Overall this job took me about 90 minutes to dismantle and reassemble the Mac in total. So in order to complete this job, what you will require is an iMac screen adhesive and also a T8 and T10 screwdriver set to get in there. I'd also recommend you getting some screen removal kit, and that includes some plastic bits which help you jimmy and lever the screen off. It's got like a small card and a cutter, as you can see me doing here, and what this does is this just breaks the seal between the screen and the main unit itself. And that is pretty much about it. You kind of want a good light and also a blower to assist in removing all the excess dust, which you'll soon find behind. What a lot of people also tend to do while doing this is change or perhaps upgrade the Intel Core i5 or i7. So this one is a base Mac which has an i5. I was actually going to do the upgrade at the time, but I actually purchased the wrong i7 quad-core processor, so I know it just wouldn't have worked for this computer. So I opted not to do it, and to be honest, it hasn't made that much difference anyway. It works exactly as I need it to with the relevant RAM upgrade. So if you're opting to do it, then I would recommend doing it at this time. If you do choose to do that, you'll also need some heat paste, which helps dissipate the heat from the processor when you're installing. So at this point, before you fully remove the screen, what you need to do is just disconnect the two wires which are currently connected, and they are for the webcam. And then you'll be able to pull the screen forward, lift it up, and then disconnect the remaining connectors at the bottom before you can fully remove the screen. Right, so as you can see, it is extremely dusty in the iMac, so now is a good time to get that cleared off. But the main thing is we have now got to the RAM sticks, so there's two of them, as you can see here. Now they are held down with some clips at the side, so we just remove the clips or pull the clips back, and that will release the RAM sticks, and then we're able to just carefully remove those and place them to the side on top of the speaker. The new sticks came in like a static free bag, so it's obviously quite vital that they are also inserted back into the static bag, the old ones that is, in order to prevent any damage to the sticks, because we can easily sell these on. So just removing this second stick, and then we'll place the new ones back in, and then we'll pretty much follow the same process as we did, just in reverse. What I do recommend is, as you remove each screw at each stage, you kind of just place the screws in order, so you know, starting from front to back or back to front, left to right, either or, just so you know everything goes back in the right place. But yeah, that's pretty much the removal and replacement of the RAM stick. Okay, so before we actually adhesive this screen back on, we are just placing it in, put it in place, switching the Mac back on just to make sure that everything is working and function as is. And as you can see, it's showing the 16GB RAM, so everything is working perfectly fine. So now what I'm doing is I've switched off the Mac, I've unplugged it, I've pressed the power button just to remove any static power that might still be there, and then we've removed the screen again in order to access all of the old adhesive. And as you can see, I'm just using the tool just to clean all of this area up, because if there's any slight bumps, this will cause the screen not to sit correctly. So the adhesive strips are numbered, so you can see you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and they have a specific place. So we've just placed those in place, taken off the strips, and we can stick these back on in order to mount the screen. So that's pretty much about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe. We will be getting back into some other tech videos as well, not necessarily reviews, but just more general round the house DIY and home improvements. As you can see, this little trick has saved me quite a lot of cash, because you know, an entry-level Mac is a minimum of £1,000, and these RAM sticks I believe cost me about £60 or so, so big saving there. And yeah, that was pretty much about it, so I will see you in the next one.